of my crafty friends. Welcome all of you. Thank you so much for joining me back on my channel. Welcome to Pretty Pink Craft Room. I'm excited today to share with you another flip book that I recently created using some more of my leftover papers. I had a couple of papers left over from this paper pack and wanted to try to use them up the best way I could. So this is what I created. This entire mini album, journal, flip book can have a variety of uses. It measures 6.5 by 5. So it's more so in the landscape orientation instead of the portrait, but it has so much room for goodies and tags and journaling cards. All of that's inside. So let's take a look. So this of course is the cover, and I just added some ribbon on the side here for decoration and use the ephemera that complemented the paper pack on the front here. And then when you open it up, this is just a simple pocket, and I added another journaling card, but look how much space is in that pocket. So much more can be added there as well. And then on this first page is just a tag, a fold over tag that I added some tulle at the top here, and then you have all of this space for either photos or journaling or anything you like. It has a top loading pocket that has a lot of room in it too. There's room for this tag, and there's room for this journaling card that I placed in the top pocket, and it slides pretty good inside and out, and could possibly even take more into that pocket. Then when you flip it over, I just made a quick library pocket, used some vellum on that library pocket, created another tag here, and then underneath is a belly band. So I added another journaling card and a quick little envelope there for storing even more items. So that goes here. And then of course is that journal insert there that we looked at previously, same pocket. Okay. On the next side, we have a angle pocket that I just fussy cut out of the paper and created that angle pocket, inserted a journal card, created another vellum envelope here. So it is a fully functional envelope for more storage space in the journal, and then just added a floral piece of ephemera on the front of that as well. Then on the side here, you can see I decorated it with more ephemera that complemented the paper pack. And then up top here is another insert that can be used for more journaling, or it can be used to capture a photo. That can be gone on there too. And there's room in there, so this easily slides in and out, or it did previously. Let's see if it'll go in now. Okay, hopefully that's good. And then on the back here, I just made a large pocket here and inserted another journaling card there. And then decorated with more ephemera from the paper pack. And this is a side pocket. I put some vellum on here and added some more ephemera, and then just inserted another journaling card. So simple design. It's pretty quick and easy to put together. You guys will see how you can easily do several of these at one time. Just trying to get this back in here the way it should be. I may have to cut it down because it seems like it doesn't want to go all the way. But you'll see how easy and quick this is to put together. So if this is something that interests you, as always, I hope you will stick around and craft with me. To create the project, I used one 12 by 12 piece of paper and two 8 by 8 pieces of paper that I cut down to various dimensions, which I will go over with you. I did do some pre-cutting so that the video can go a little quicker, so I will slowly go over with you how I cut down the papers to the various dimensions. So for one 8 by 8, that will be your cover, and the second 8 by 8 will be your back cover. So one is the front cover, one is the back cover, and you can choose the design that you would like to use for each one of those. So for the front cover, I cut my 8 by 8 piece of paper down to 7 inches wide by 4.5 tall, or 4.5 in height, because again we're doing landscape. So this is the piece I've chosen for my front cover, and again it's 7.5, 7, 4.5. Let me do that again. 7, 4.5, and we're going to be scoring on the 7-inch side. So since I want this section as my front cover, what I do is I turn it face down, and then I'm going to do my scoring. So the scoring is going to be about 5 score lines that you're going to create for a hinging system. Very simple, not complicated at all, but on the 7-inch side, I'm going to make several score marks, and I'll repeat them after we do them for the first time as well. So I'm going to score first at 4.5, then 5, 5.5, 6, and 6.5. So starting at 4.5, you're just scoring every 1/2 inch until you reach the end of the paper. Pretty simple. So again, I'm going to flip it over because I want to go back to my front cover here. And all you're going to do is do an accordion fold, folding backwards and forwards on each one of those score lines that was created. So all I'm doing is folding back and forward, just like an accordion, to create my hinge system. And let me crease that down. So you should end up with something that looks just like this. So all you did was make those score lines, and then you made the folds, and it created the hinge system like so. And this is the cover of your project. So now I'm just going to take the back and attach them together. So let me set the front one aside. So this is the back. So I took an 8x8 piece of paper and I cut it down to 6.5 wide by 5 tall. 6.5, 5. 6.5, 5 in height. And I don't need to do any scoring or any cutting or any further cutting on this piece of paper. I'm just going to attach it to my project and center this front cover. So if you can see here, it's not exactly to the edges or to the front, bottom and top of the back piece of paper. It's actually centered in the middle. And so I'm just going to be attaching it like so. So to do that, I first need to close up these hinges. So I'm going to be applying glue inside these little valleys so that I can seal up this hinging. So I'll go ahead and add the glue here. And you can certainly use adhesive tape for this too. That certainly works. And then I'll do the next one. Okay. So then I will crease that down so that that glue can really adhere in there. And so now it's actually just glued together, and this is how it looks like so. So now I can attach the back, and again I'm going to center it. Find my center. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not being too technical with it. I'm just eyeballing where I want to line it up at. And then I'm going to apply glue to that very last 1/2 inch panel there. And then I will attach it. This part I do like to use glue because I just need a little bit more time to get things lined up. I don't always have them straight, so it just helps me if I can get things lined up. Okay, so now we have our front and our back, and then we have these 2 hinges here where we can attach more pages. And then the back looks like so. Perfect. So in order to create my pages in the middle, super simple, I took that one 12x12 piece of paper and I cut one down to 4 3/4 in height by 10.5. So let me get that one. Let's see. Nope, it's this one. Okay. So it's 4 3/4, and I need to cut this down to 10.5. So let me get my cutting board out and cut that down to 10.5. I did some pre-cutting, but not everything, I guess. And I have this piece left over, which can be used for decorating. Okay, So again, this piece is 4 3/4 in height by 10.5 wide. And on the 10.5, I'm only going to make one score mark, and that is at 5 1/4. So I'm basically just scoring in half. This folds over, and then when I bring back in the base of our project, you're just going to be attaching this onto the hinge like so. So again, the hinge is here, and you're just attaching the paper like so. And then of course I'm going to center it because it's not quite as tall as the back page, so I just want to center it again to give me that kind of waterfall effect. So I'll attach it like so. So what I like to do to create it, make it better for the pages to slide in and out, as well as not to give a visual of the hinge underneath, I like to miter my hinges. So I'm just going to do that really quick, and what that means is I'm just going to cut off a little triangle on the edge here, and you just eyeball it. You're just cutting off just a little bit. It's not something that has to be super precise or anything. To me, it just aesthetically it looks better too, in addition to functionally allowing paper to slide through a lot easier. So I think I need to sharpen my scissors. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is I like to attach it from the back first, and then fold it over and attach the front like so. So I'm going to just apply glue here. And again, you could certainly use adhesive tape, but I like the glue to give me more time to get things lined up. Just a little bit more time I just needed. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure I center this on the page, on the flap here, and then I can secure it down. And then all that needs to be done now is you're going to add glue to the bottom to seal this pocket up, and add glue on the side. So at the bottom and on the side, and then you'll be able to seal this pocket up, and you'll have a front top loading pocket. So I'll add glue again on the flap here. And then I'll add a bead of glue at the very bottom. Okay, so now you have your first page here, and you have your top loading here. So I have used the double-sided paper for this 12 by 12 as well, because the second 12 piece from that 12 by 12 sheet, I'm going to use the opposite side because it gives a lot more contrast. So I think that's great. So this piece measures 12 inches in width and 5 in height. So 12 and 5. And we're just going to score it again down the middle at 6. Simple scoring. And then we're going to do the same thing, folding it over, creasing it down, and now I should be ready to add it to my project. I just do a dry fit first because sometimes my cutting isn't precise, and I just want to make sure everything is lining up. So again, I'm just working with this last hinge here, so I'm going to add that here and here, and just make sure. So because this is 6 inches in height, you can make sure it is even with your back page there too. Yes, I love that contrast. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to attach it from the back first. Make sure I have it even in both sides. Okay. So I'll add glue to the back of that flap there, that 1/2 inch hinge here. And then I'm going to add glue on the hinge here, and then at the bottom to seal that pocket up. Now this is the part where you could also, if you're choosing to, you can make you a notch. In the front of this pocket, you could take your little punch, your circle punch or your notch punch, and make a notch here. to make for your pocket. I didn't choose to do that on mine, but of course that is certainly an option. Okay. And that is pretty much the design of our pocket journal, our Flipbook. And now you can decorate it and do all sorts of things with it. I do want to show you some other options of what you could do, because we did the original creation and I showed you how I decorated it, how I designed it, etc. So let me bring in another one I've done so that you can see there's so many options. Once you create the base of it, it's so many options of what you can do on each page. It's just like a blank canvas, and there's so many things that can be done. And then of course you have these top pockets that are very spacious inside that allow you to put even more items in there. So this is the other one I recently created. Again, this is using an old paper pack that I had in my stash that I wanted to figure out a way to use, and I'm glad I finally found a way to design it and make it look pretty and use it in a great project. So this is the same exact design as the previous of what we just did. This is the front, and then on the inside I did do the standard pocket. This one I did a larger or a wider tag here, but it just flips like so, and so there's extra space down here, and then you have that. This is the top loading pocket, and I just put an insert in there. Or I should say this is the insert from the top loading pocket. And then on this side, I did do the same library card with the belly band, and I did insert some journaling cards that was a complement to the paper pack. So I'll keep those. But on this side, I just did another fold over tag. So I didn't do the angle pocket on this page like I did in the previous one. I did a fold over tag and then left all this room for journaling, or if you want to add a photo, however you like to do so. That's that one. And then of course, again, there is the insert from the top loading pocket there too. Okay, and this should go in because I thought I cut it down. Oh, I think I'm not actually in the pocket, so there we go. All right. And then on this side, I did a fold over page with a little tuck spot. So again, here's another option of what you can do with those journaling cards that might be left over that you have. You can put them in here, and then I just did a fold over page, and instead of gluing the whole thing down, I just made it as a tuck spot. So that's an option. And then here's an option of these double angle pockets that you can put at the back. And again, just inserting some more journaling cards. Or you can insert booklets for more albums or more journaling space. You could do all of those types of things. There's just so many options of what you could do once you create the base of it. So I'll bring back in the others, and I hope you guys enjoyed this really quick, really fast tutorial, but something easy, that's quick to do, that's easy to do, and there's so many options of what you can create once you make that base. So thank you again for sticking with me through this tutorial, and I greatly appreciate all of you for joining my channel. Thank you guys again for all of your comments. They are so encouraging to me, and it gives me more inspiration and more excitement about coming on to do the videos and being excited for creating the next project. So I thank you so much for all of you out there who have taken the time to join me on my channel. If you have not subscribed, I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel and turning on those notifications so that we can join each other for another crafty session very soon. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.